Everyone, Maury Dunbar here back at Painted Studio. Happy Monday. We are getting to the end of a long winter. Give me just a second to come back onto my channel here, or my Facebook page, and so I can open the live and see if there's any questions. I'm kind of a bit later than I normally am. It's been a busy Monday, but I didn't want to forget you all. I wanted to come on live and work on the project that we started last week. So now I'm going to flip my camera down. We're not going to have a lot of chatter today. Here is my glass tabletop. Let me see if I can get this framed in a little better. So yeah, I'm not getting it framed much better. Just trying to adjust a little. Okay. Frame it with, I either frame it in the camera or I frame it on the table. So we applied pure silver leaf on here last week on Friday. I came back with my Goldfather, which is a product made from a guy here in Chicago, Robert Fries. This is the card. I know it's gonna, there we go. If you have any interest in these, look him up. And then I came back in and I burnished all the extra little bits off of the back here. And yeah, I have some fractures in my silver. I'm not worried about that because a lot of this is going to end up etched out. Now, if I was really a genius with doing this, I would actually have a way to create the pattern beforehand and only lay the silver out where I needed it, but that's not how my brain works. I have to put the silver on everything first and then come back in. And where did I had, oh good grief, I get everything and then I'm losing one piece of stuff. Hang on just a second, I need one more little thing. Need a little piece of cotton batting because that's part of the process here. So I'm going to start etching out a pattern, and I have a couple of ideas. I want to go, since we were going organic and branchy, I pulled these images off of the internet, so I'm kind of going with that. I probably will it doesn't really matter which direction it goes because once I've placed it on here, it's gonna, when I finish it, it'll go whichever way I want it to on my tabletop once I've gotten it. But I've got the idea. So you can see I've got a big branch with a bunch of different leaves, some overlapping the main stems and different shades. So how we get there is interesting. You take a little cup. I'm going to spritz, well, let me open my whiting first. Take a little whiting, tiny pinch. You don't need more than that. And then you're going to put some denatured alcohol in here. And the reason that you put whiting in this is it acts as a slight abrasive to help you etch out more of your metals off the glass. So I'm putting on these gloves because the oils from my hands, even though I have very dry hands, the oils from my hands can cause the silver to tarnish. So I want to prevent that. And these are gallery gloves. You can order them from Uline. They're little cheapo unfinished cotton gloves, and what I don't throw these away. I tend to wash them, which is why they get a little shrunk down. But if you've ever been into a store where they don't want you to actually handle something and get the oils from your hands on it, they give you a pair of gloves like these, either in black or in white. Mine are white. And then you go on with your plans here. So here I'm taking a little stick, and you can use whatever size, but you need a little pointy tip on it. And so I'm dipping it in my alcohol mixture because this is going to help me etch out my branch a little bit. So I'm going to start in here, and I'm just basically drawing. And what that does, if you look closely, it pulls the silver off. So that's how we're doing that. And somebody's trying to call me even though I had my do not disturb on. So we're going like that. But if I want to start etching in a few of these leaves that are going to sit over my branches, but I don't want to just draw a complete outline, I can come in here with a very stiff bristled brush that I dipped into my silver, and I just sort of lightly brush on here, and it starts etching it away. Now this may not work as well as I thought, and I'm not liking how that's going. That's not a big deal. So what I'm going to do is just sort of look at my ideas. Look at my ideas here. Get my basic stuff sort of sketched in. And I'll probably do something like throw some leaf shapes here and over here, and I'll just make them sort of random shaped. And I just, it's going to look really, really rough at first. And then let's do a few here. Because all I'm doing is outlining. I'm not making any details other than where I'm placing things. Because I want these to kind of overlap and branch into the branches as I build that up. And then, as you can see, there's going to be more in the background, but these are my first ones to get in. And then I can kind of come back. All I want to do is just get my trunk and my design kind of moving a little bit. And I just keep dipping into my alcohol. I'm not trying for straight lines by any means. I don't want straight lines. This and come up in here. And all of this will end up in a much neater and far tidier pattern and texture as I go along. Now this will be something that I probably end up working on quite a while just to get, and I know that's an awful sound. But this is the slow building of my details and my patterns. And if I don't like any of the shape, I correct them as I go along. But this is how you start doing this. And it is really crappy looking at first, but this is how you start to build up stuff. So first thing I'm doing is laying out my basic leaves and tree branches to give me my positioning. And then I'll continue on, I'll add more leaves in the background once I get where I want to go. Okay, so I've got most of my basic branching done here. I need to do a little down here. Okay, so now I've got the most basic stuff laid out here. Now I know this is really hard to see. Let me see if I can get this to come in a little closer. Of course my gloves are going to interfere, so give me just a second to just shift my image to see if you can see this a little better. And not a little bit. You guys can see a little bit of those outlines here. So let me come in and just give you a little example of what will happen. And we're going to keep this short and sweet today because this is going to take me quite a while and I need to finish laying out pattern. But so now I'm taking my little stick. I am wrapping the tip in some cotton batting. So you see it's sort of like a weird, ugly, pointy Q-tip. And I take that in and dip it in the alcohol. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start erasing out some of that silver. Now, this can be done in a very clean way. If I need more of this cleaner than I'm getting, let me see if you're getting any of this on my camera. There we go. That's too high. So I'm basically erasing my silver. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take some out here. And this is how you do it, because the metals are extremely soft and very, very easy to manipulate this way. And you clean them off and you put this over, you put in your glass over a dark surface so that you can see what you've erased. If I had this over a piece of white paper, it would be much harder for me to see my where I'm etching out my silver, where it's left, what I need to do. This is going to take a while. Now, I have done this with stencils. I've done this freehanded. I've done paintings. I've done all kinds of stuff with this, but this is really a beautiful technique. It's very, very old. It goes back millennia because this is how gold and silver were placed on glass. So I'm just doing a little bit of this here because I still need to come back in. Now that I've got those leaves etched in, I need to come back in and add more. So I'm going to take my pencil or my wooden thing and come back and add some more that are going to go behind my front ones so that I keep getting more and more detail in here. And I have no idea at this moment how leafy I'm going to want this. I'm just kind of building this to see how I like it. And then once this is all etched out, once I have this pattern etched out, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do painting on here too, because this is not just a solid branch. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to drop some lights and shading in here, etch out certain areas so that when I put paint behind it, you can actually see the pattern. And there's lots of different ways that you can do this. Usually, the painting is done with Japan paints, or sign painters paints, which are oil-based. However, they don't have to be. They can be water-based if you seal this up with shellac, because that really makes a huge difference. You don't want anything on here that's going to cause the metals to tarnish. So let me come in here with a leaf. And let me put a little stem here. I'm making things bigger than they need to be because they will continue to be etched out. So this will get more refined looking as it goes. I mean, honest to God, I will tell everybody this. The first part of this is never pretty. I have done some really lovely stuff, things that I've surprised myself with how pretty they've been. And frankly, they all started out really ugly. I won't lie. I'm not trying to imitate any specific leaf. However, I might grab some photographs later on and work on some more leafy looks to get things more in a place that I want. But really my goal here is to just add some interest to that table that I did. And I want a lot of pattern on here because I want to kind of disguise the pattern I wasn't happy with. So I'm going to stop here for the moment just to see what else I want to do. I think that's going to add a little more because I tend to do clusters of 3s. And while odd numbers are good for organic ideas, my own habits need to be broken. And I'm going to turn this around to see whether it looks fine in one direction, but quite frankly, my patterning will often not look as balanced when I start turning it around. And so I want to see where I think I need it. Now, if you notice, there's little pieces of styrofoam under here. It's to tilt this so that I see it better. Because, yeah, these things happen and I don't necessarily see everything. more of where. And any place that it looks like I'm having a little trouble etching through the silver, it's probably because my Gilder's liquor puddled in that area and gave me a little thicker surface that I need to etch through. That's very common, and if I need to do more work on it, it's not that hard. I just need to use a little more pressure and have a little more patience. Okay, so here's my basics. And what I'll start doing now, once I've got everything etched in, is I will take my little bit of messy cotton tip stuff here. I'll get a fresh piece, but this is where I'm going to go. And then now I can do even more. I have another one of these little wooden things. I can add more leaves, and it looks like I'm making this super busy, but the amount of gold that or silver that I take out of here will make a huge difference in how this reads. So if I want something to sort of fade into the background, once I'm done getting all of my basic pieces and parts done, because I just had my inspiration hit me again, the more silver I etch out, the more delicate and faded it will look in the background. So I am putting a few more leaves and bits and bobs in here, because that's where, now I'm hoping, because I'm putting this over a pattern, that this idea of mine will read well. It might not. It might, once I get everything going on it, I might find out that it is not the best idea I've ever had, and I'll just take some of this off and make it a little lighter. All right, let's get in there, and then let's get another one over here. And let's see, do I want something? Yeah, I kind of want something over here. I'm going to put a few little ones in. Okay, so now you're seeing the beginnings of my idea. This is going to take me a while just to etch out around the areas I've sketched off. It does take a while. I'm going to be doing this for a couple more hours tonight, and then I'll come back, and hopefully tomorrow I'll start showing you my ideas of etching out the pattern. All right, now, I mean, etching in some of the details. All right, everybody, thank you for giving me your time today. Let me close that out so I can touch. We are going to keep moving forward on this. I may get part of this done and put it to the side for a while and go on to other things. I have some new exciting products that I'm looking to bring into the studio. So, you know, this may get put to the side. These things happen. I have all kinds of things going on. I went and worked a little on the chair over in the other corner here so that we have a starting place on that. So again, I jump back and forth with a lot of projects. All right, everybody, have a great Monday, and I will see you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.